I've been coasting, microdosing just to stimulate. Pussies posting buck like coaches just to pass the day. Saw for fourth and passed away. He proud my whole absence ain't fake. Birthdays every day. I granted those only having the cake.
This is Gem Radio, the radio podcast where we play the present that'll be the future of hip-hop, R&B, and beat making. I am your host and curator, Mr. B, and this is episode 29. I just got done playing some Shay Leah, Mike Bogan, Marlo, and the set list will be available in the description. And if you'd like to support Golden Era Music Group and podcast, you can do it two ways. You can donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/goldenerapod, or you can cop a t-shirt or any of our other goods at goldeneramerch.com. The support is greatly appreciated. On today's episode, we got New Jersey artist 89 The Brainchild, fresh off the release of his album Kayfabe, which is a term that is synonymous with professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Kayfabe is an exploration of character, and we dive, no pun intended, being that's another wrestling term, deep into his character. We talk about the wrestling, the indie circuit, and of course the music, vulgarity, and much more. And I hope you enjoy this interview. If you're a fan of wrestling like us both, then you're in for a great conversation. And for the love of God, check out Kayfabe from 89 The Brainchild. It's one of my favorite projects this year. I haven't been able to stop listening. So let me stop talking all this shit. Let's get into this interview, and thank you for tuning in. Let's get into this interview. Episode 29 of Gem Radio. We are here with our guest, fellow wrestling fanatic, hip-hop artist. He's fresh off the release of his album Kayfabe, and he will be performing at the Mad Liberation Festival on August 18th, deep in the ponds of Hamilton, New Jersey. We got 89 The Brainchild on the show. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling real good. It's a little hot out, but
yeah, it's hot as fuck, man. It's crazy. Fuck out of here.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. So you fresh off the release of your new album, Kayfabe.
Yeah.
It's on all streaming platforms for everybody who hasn't checked it out, and they should be checking that shit out. It's fucking fire. So how's the reception been since that project just dropped?
It's been better than I thought it was going to be, because we had a couple of issues regarding just the release date. We kind of were going back and forth with it, and even just wanted to add more visual content, like whether it be videos or something like the EPK that you've seen, and some of the other skits that we've posted. But as soon as we got it out, I was very satisfied with how people took it. Like some people, they were asking me how to pronounce Kayfabe. Some people were calling it Kayfabe or whatever have you. It was cool, kind of introducing like a concept like this to people who may not be that familiar with wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right.
To have like people kind of diving into it, even if they didn't quite at least understand how to pronounce the title, that really made me happy that people were open to it.
So how did you get the name 89 The Brainchild, man?
89 is my birth year. I'm 29 right now, and the concept
Same.
there you go. The concept of the brainchild is like that's the product of a good idea. You know what I mean? Like Henry Ford with the Model T, that shit is like an empire now. Like even though he's not alive with us, like Walt Disney, that man is not alive no more, but Disney owns the fucking the entertainment world almost.
Yeah.
So for me, like my parents, they had a maybe not so brilliant idea, but they had the idea of creating someone that could like create some change in this world, to introduce new ideas, and that's what I'm here to do.
Word, because one of like the first records I played from you was If Beyonce Taught Me Anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, it's like you can like, it seems like you've been mashing together genres like house, club, and hip hop all together, but I know you're doing a lot more, especially with this project too.
Yeah.
Like, so do you see yourself as trying to just, to bend genres and stuff like that with your music?
I don't think that was ever really the goal. I think I was always open to other genres and stuff. Like I think growing up, because me and you are the same age, I'm sure you recall like just getting up in the morning for school and you see like MTV on and there's like a block of videos like consistently. So for me, I was being exposed to like everything from like Britney Spears to Stone Temple Pilots to freaking Hot Boys, like before I even like got dressed. So for me, that's just kind of just me being a product of my environment. Like I was open to all these sounds, like house music had been around me for years, hip hop. it's embedded in my life. Freaking some of the rock stylings, like that just came from just me growing up in a like an integrated area where like people were exposing me to things. So it wasn't no goal like, oh yeah, I want to try and like check off these boxes and cover these bases. It was just something that like, let me get all the ingredients that helped me become who I am as a person, as a music aficionado, like, and all in between.
Word. So what music were you into? Like, what was like your favorite artist that like inspire your sound?
I think I listened to I used to listen to college radio. Like, I'll tell you this one story. I remember I was in high school, maybe I was like a freshman or a sophomore, and I like they used to do like Thursday night radio, like the mixtape radio on Hot 97. Like even on like Mondays, like Monday through Thursday, they do have like different mixtape DJs. After that went off the air, I would just get like bored, and because they would just go back to the regular rotation, so I wouldn't really hear any more new music. So I ended up going to college radio, and that's when I discovered so much indie music, like, and even like cats like Murs, cats like Atmosphere, and then even like playing Tony Hawk games. Like people ask me what kind of music I make, like what kind of rap I do. I do Tony Hawk Pro Skater rap. If you hear the rap I make.
No, real talk. Now that you put it in that perspective, you really fucking do.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'm like, we haven't seen a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game in about. We're not going to talk about the one that just recently came out and was absolutely trash. But
man. The Skate series got them out the paint, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think skating is not as popular in the gaming world anymore. I don't think it's the same.
I think now because we're with the games themselves, like skate, it's a lot more technical and shit. So as soon as like they really got to like the peak of like the technicality and shit, where you could do all these different like variations of moves by just moving your joystick, it was like how much higher can we reach up with these like with these devices? Yeah.
And this is like at this point, like skateboarding is still fucking popular.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, there's a community for that shit. Like, there's always been a community for that shit. It's just crazy how.
We watch Skate League every year.
It's crazy how like there hasn't been a new skate game yet. The Tony Hawk game came out, but it was terrible. Yeah. It's like no one's not really gonna put their all to a skate game, even though there is a fan base for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, you do make that kind of type of music. The skate for something for the skateboard crowd. Have you ever tried like putting it out there, giving your music out to the people in the skate crowds?
We have for me within my collective, Psych New Jersey, like Psych, we got Rich Whitehead. He's a fantastic skater out of Rahway, New Jersey. Like we got like our own team. We got Nam Marley, who's down with Dead Rebel Society. He's an affiliate of ours. He skates for Psych as well. And on top of that, we got wrestlers, man. I got a guy.
Yo, we don't get to Psych
in all these realms of like sports that aren't really considered contemporary sports. Like it's not like as widely accepted as basketball, football, baseball, but like some of these type of physical activities, whether it be mixed martial arts, whether it be extreme sports, or even the theatrics, the professional wrestling, like that's kind of like I'm trying to tap into that.
Oh shit. So we're gonna be getting really into this whole wrestling thing because I know you're a huge fan of wrestling. So I remember I didn't get to go, but I know y'all had the Psych Mania shit, the Psych House, this shit. Yeah, so I was like, damn.
Hitting ourselves with chairs and shit, just to like do rap songs. It was fun.
Word. So let's talk about the cover of Kayfabe.
Yes.
You got the wrestling. It's like the wrestling theme. You got the streamers, like that's like famous from Ring of Honor and stuff.
Yeah, like that. If you're from America, like if you watch indie wrestling and you see those streamers, man, that shit taps into like a special place.
Was there like any other ideas that you couldn't get off for the cover? I could see this shit having many different covers, and you had many ideas.
Yeah, like there were points where we were gonna like we have a wrestler. Shout out to Julio. He was our plug with Wrestle Pro, which is like a local wrestling promotion in New Jersey out here, and we were gonna do some stuff in the ring, like. But it got to a point where I didn't want to get too on the nose with it because I felt like a lot of people they focus on just when I hear like wrestling rap, type, if you want to call it wrestling rap. It's like, I don't know what we're gonna call this yet, but
I know.
Like when you look at, like,
I did see one of your posts one day, and you was talking about how these older rappers are talking about independent shit, and
because some of it just don't come off real sincere. So like it's very surface layer. It's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna say this guy's name and I'm gonna say his finisher, and that's my bar, or I'm gonna say like this guy, and people are gonna have nostalgia about it because he's the most popular. But for me, I'll sit there and talk about like some very like niche as like match. Like if you haven't seen like Omega versus Okada, like some people may not know about Kenny Omega, some people may not know about Kazuchika Okada. But if
they don't know nothing about Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, they're retarded.
Like some people like. Like there are a lot of people within this wrestling rap shit, they still living in goddamn, like, they ain't even rapping on Attitude Era. They talking about like Golden Era, like freaking Razor Ramon still. I'm like, damn, like he ain't been Razor Ramon in God knows how long. And they'll sit there and try to like market it to like a younger crowd, where it's like, dude, you're not even, like, these kids weren't even alive when this shit was going on. Like, when was the last time you watched the product?
Yeah. I can't watch the WWE product.
WWE is we're not even. That's a longer combo. That's a whole other podcast right there.
It's the right now. That's like the fucking UFC of wrestling at this point. It's a monopoly, pretty much. And it feels as if they don't have competition. They don't have to try.
Yeah,
and
like, they got that big ass Fox deal for like $1 billion or whatever for SmackDown. Like Fox bought SmackDown for like $1 billion.
And I'm just like, they gotta understand now that Mark Cuban bought a piece of New Japan.
Yeah, man.
So it's going to be a contender very soon. They're going to have to start. They're going to be contender because of the fact that the G1 Supercar is going to be in Madison Square Garden.
Yep, on Mania weekend. I'm trying to be there. I'm like the whole squad going to try and be there, and we got a plug at MetLife Stadium, so we definitely going to be at Mania.
I'm most definitely going to the G1 Supercar. I could care less for Mania. I know that shit's gonna be ass.
I think it's like, for me, I've never been to a Mania. I've never been to I don't think I've ever been to a WWE pay-per-view. So for me, it was like, all right, it's in the area. I got the plug to get, like, I could just get nosebleed seats, and then like my homegirl could just get me right backstage.
Word. So yeah, the only like show I've been to, like wrestling show, I know I've been to Impact in Orlando.
Oh wow!
And I've been to. I was in Universal Studios, and that experience of getting into that show was ridiculous. Like it's like a waiting list. You have to wait outside until people leave the show for you to get in. Like, and the show was free. This was during a time when Sting and Kurt Angle was still like popping.
Like I know that era. I remember that time. I was still kind of tuned in because I remember Jeff Hardy was drugged up as fuck.
Oh my god. Like, peace to the fact that man finally found his way and stopped.
Yeah, man. Shoot, I was watching this documentary like a couple days ago on the Hardys on WWE Network.
Yeah. Oh man. So, and also, you're like the first rapper to fucking. Well, okay, wrestler rapper. I don't want to call you a wrestler rapper.
Hey, yo, and I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper. You're the first rapper to mention Zack Sabre Jr., my nigga. Like you really are an indie head at this point. Like,
thank you, man. Zack Sabre Jr. is like that dude. I read about him a lot online, and then first time I actually saw him in action was the Cruiserweight Classic. Wow. And then that's when I first saw Kota Ibushi as well. That match, we should have got that match but
the first match I got to see him in, I saw him wrestle Kurt Angle before he came back to WWE.
Oh wow!
I think that was it. I don't know if it was him or it was what's his name, Will Ospreay. I'm not really sure. They both look alike. Yeah, but I think I think I've seen those two go at it because they both have a big similar type of styles.
Yeah, no, I like Zack Sabre Jr. as like just to be like a lanky dude. Like, cause me, I'm not like no brolic ass dude, and I have like secret deep like wrestling aspirations. Also, like, oh man, if I wasn't rapping, brolic, I'll get diesel as hell. But Zack Sabre Jr., he was like, yo, I'm just gonna if your arm's exposed, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna bend it, and that's just okay. I don't have to be like, I don't have to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, man, you can't be out here with cheeseburger physique.
Yo, Come on, man. He from Trenton, man. He a Jersey boy.
He a Jersey boy. Oh, damn.
Killing cheeseburger.
Oh man, we can kill DJ Academics. We can kill.
All right, it's open season then. You're right.
It's open season. Oh man, so on the back of the cover, you like pretty much pay homage to all the wrestling promotions. Then you just like single out Impact. What the hell?
Because it's like the Impact jokes are still flying, the TNA jokes still fly around in message boards and online and stuff, and even like within some of these journalists, quote unquote. But like Impact is really making a real effort to like make you forget some of those real bad times.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those, like, I have to highlight that, like, even the people that we've slept on, like, we can't just like throw it to the wayside. This was a good American promotion, man.
Oh,
like, it's like niggas. It's like people sit there and they like if a cat has like maybe a bad album, like are you not gonna ever give him a chance ever again? Like because like he had like a bad single or he had like a bad record. It's like, nah, man. Like, yo, if you look at the product now, it's vastly improved, man. Like, freaking,
yeah.
Who's running it? Like, isn't Don Callis? Don Callis running it.
Don Callis,
yeah.
And right now, there's a possibility that Chris Jericho is going to be working with Impact.
Yeah, because they got Jericho got the cruise, and Sammy Callahan, he done talked his way on the boat with Impact, so they're gonna be there.
Word. So I'm looking forward to what they got going on. I'm more looking forward to All In September.
Yeah, no, this is a great time for professional wrestling on the independent level, from like the Jericho Cruise, the G1 special in San Francisco was like just off the Bullet Club turn, that whole split. I didn't see that shit coming at that moment. Oh. And now we got the MSG announcement. It's like, all right, these guys are really going for it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. They got the money now. Like,
yeah.
Then they got the attention. It's best for them to do it right now while the pot is still, the pot is hot, and pretty much for them it's like WWE keeps writing shit off. But what's so bad is like when Ring of Honor was going to do the Madison Square Garden show just by themselves, they blocked that shit.
Yeah.
And it took I had to think in my mind a little bit like, wow, y'all gonna really take over the WWE side, because remember what happened when they had their little 25th anniversary and they left y'all with the shitty fucking show, but they had the big show in Barclays Center?
Yeah, yo, and I feel like that was the driving force. Like MSG, they knew Ring of Honor, like as good as they are, like they're not quite ready for that. Like they weren't gonna sit there and do All In. Like, so when you sit there, but when you add New Japan to the mix, it makes the deal a little bit sweeter, because now there's an international crowd. WrestleMania weekend, it's like the fucking Olympics of wrestling and shit. So like, goddamn, every promotion is doing some shit in New York. Everyone's gonna be out there, so you're gonna get an international crowd. So when you mix in the indie promotion in America, that's the Ring of Honor, then you take in an international act that's really hot right now, like New Japan, and you throw that in Madison Square Garden. Like, just the story of, like, people want to sit there and they want to do this fantasy feud and shit with, like, oh man, like who's gonna take out WWE, who's gonna take out this. Like, yo, these are the moments that we thought about with the WCW. This moments that we thought about watching fucking TNA, like, in the early years, and when they were coming up, when you had Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, like, really just going at it, and they were like mid-card champions, like X Division and shit.
Yeah, man. So
right now, like, New Japan, you see this, like, I haven't seen a misstep with New Japan since I watched Wrestle Kingdom maybe 10. I haven't seen a misstep on any of their storylines yet. Like, they've been hitting. WWE, not as much.
They just keep like forcing the whole Roman Reigns thing. We're gonna get into that.
Man. They trying to force that Sasha and Bailey shit.
Oh damn. I don't want to talk about Bailey. There's nothing wrong with Bailey, but I just feel like she needs a retooling. Like, she needs to not have a belly to belly as a fucking finisher.
I agree 100% on that. And also that the Extreme Rules last year when she lost to Alexa Bliss, and because she got the damn kendo stick and couldn't beat her. The whole thing was about, like, yo, can you grow up and not be a child and do this Extreme Rules match? And she couldn't do it. That's when everyone lost faith.
Damn. Ain't that a bitch? Maybe is that because we talk about kayfabe. Do you think that's just the character that they give her?
I think it is. I think it was part of a larger story, but they don't know how to do long-term booking, because we never really got that. It's always about that culmination of, like, oh yeah, this motherfucker finally rose to the occasion and shit. And I can appreciate that with the Roman Reigns thing, but I feel like it was just stretched out over so long.
Yeah, and then they gave us the swerve of a lifetime.
Yeah, when they put the title, when they kept the title on Brock Mania, I was like, oh man, we're gonna keep this going. Then we did Arabia. I was like, oh man, Dusty finish, and then we didn't see that. We haven't seen him since Arabia. We haven't seen the title defense, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, why do they feel that Brock Lesnar is a fucking draw? I don't think he's a draw. Like, I think he's corny. I think he's boring as fuck. In a way.
I think he's as good as what you like. You got to give him fresh shit to work with, like, because he gets in routines. Like, he'll get very comfortable. Like, all right, cool, let's just do this suplex shit, and I'm gonna just beat you bloody, and that's game.
That's so corny.
So when you sit there and have, like, you got this man for limited dates, and you could do all this interesting fantasy booking, and you just keep him in like the feud with Roman for like 3 years, bro. Like the Samoa Joe.
Chill a second, because you're going in and out.
It's all good. Are we good now?
Let me see. Yeah, good enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but when we had moments like Braun Strowman was finally stepping up to Brock Lesnar, people got excited behind that. When Samoa Joe stepped up, niggas was going ham for that shit.
Oh yeah.
But because
but being that everybody got caught with an F5, they couldn't.
Yeah, but I
feel
like there was variation, because if you looked at, like, people thought like, oh wow, yo, Braun is like the guy. He could do this. So people had, after seeing Roman fail so long, we were automatically thinking, oh shit, they're gonna make Braun the guy, and that didn't work out. Samoa Joe comes in, he beats fucking Brock Lesnar's ass before the match even starts, which is like unheard of. Like I've never seen Brock Lesnar really get beat down like that. So like I think like Roman Reigns, it just goes into, all right, cool, we're gonna stare each other down. Like you're in this corner, I'm in this corner. All right, now we're just going at it, and you're automatically going to just take control of Brock Lesnar, because that's what the fuck you do. But Samoa Joe's character, Braun Strowman's character, I don't think they get into those kind of routines. Like, I feel like I see evolution within like their characters, even their movesets in some ways, like, especially with Braun. Braun is like definitely a different wrestler than when we first saw him. But yeah, as soon as like Roman, like 3 years ago at the first WrestleMania to now, I don't really see any like real change or like evolution in his character, aside from like maybe wearing the man bun a little bit more, and he wears a chain occasionally. But his moveset is still the same. His attitude is still the same. He still feels entitled. It's like, yo, why would I get behind this character?
One of the things that I was told when I had a conversation about Roman is that the fact of the matter is that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins negated off of wearing Shield fucking clothing.
Yeah,
and had their own shit. He stayed in the Shield clothing. Like, that's the problem.
He couldn't let go. I guess he doesn't know where else to go. All he knows is how to be a Shield dude. Like, the music is pretty much still the same a little bit.
Yeah.
The gear hasn't changed, aside from like his logo, his whack ass Punch Man logo. I'm not gonna call it Jump Man, it's the Punch Man logo. Yeah.
The jack off fist movement.
Yeah, yo, and Tama Tonga's been going in on Roman Reigns about that.
But yo, let's get into this next question, because we can go all day with this shit.
Yo, we be going on diatribes, man. We be going on rants. Let's go.
Yeah. So Kayfabe is like a wrestling themed album with tracks like Dive, Breaking Kayfabe, and Indie Dates. What made you want to make an album based on that concept?
I think it was one of those things where I think New Japan, some of their storylines were really like tapping into some real shit, and this was like around the time where I think Cody was kind of getting involved, and that's when I started like learning about like some of the behind the scenes, like some of the politics and some of the things that they go through, and it felt it's not that different from like local rap shit. Like the things that the conversation I've had with WrestlePro wrestlers and some of the other cats with indie promotions, like they're not that different than some of the like the dialogues that I've had with some of my rap peers, like going through what the hell they go through here on a local rap scene. So I felt like it was very relative, and even just the concept, like just kayfabe itself, it's a persona. Like people kind of put on these masks, like freaking like Undertaker is like a red state Republican ass motherfucker and shit. But when he comes out as a dead man, it's some lovely shit. No matter how many times he may say some like racist shit off camera to someone, it's like, yo, he's a totally different person.
I never heard Undertaker was racist before.
I've heard some things. I've read some things. I heard like he ain't no like blatant racist, but he's like a real like just he's a real like Republican ass motherfucker and shit. And so it's not something like, oh man, this guy, he should be canceled. Like, yo, he votes Republican. He's whatever. It's Texas. He's a man from Texas. I get it.
Wow. So,
but I think a lot of people, they sit there and they put on these like personas. Like there are people out there that they go in there with like the confidence and the ego of like a Roman Reigns, but then like in real life they're fucking James Ellsworth and shit.
Oh shit. No. Oh man. So, being that kayfabe is an exploration of character term in professional wrestling. If you were a professional wrestler or a sports entertainer, whatever the fuck they want to call this shit, what would you want your gimmick to be?
Wow. I'll tell you this. I'm not gonna be no damn supernatural character. Some shit.
Nah.
I'll probably be like a very I think Zack Sabre Jr., but I would be a lot more vocal. Like I wouldn't need a manager.
You'd be like Zack Sabre Jr. with like Tokyo Pimp tendencies.
Yo, yeah, exactly. Like I would come out with like Yujiro, like Tokyo Pimp's, like he got some ladies. I've seen him with a couple of bad chicks. Have that on me.
What's her name? I forgot. It has like the bunny ears. She dates.
Yo. Like that's like his main piece right there.
Yeah, she dates Bad Luck Fale.
That's Bad Luck Fale, girl?
Yeah.
Damn. Fale big as hell. He probably hurt her. That's crazy. Maybe that's why he lost the weight.
Oh, shit. Nah, that shit unhealthy. Even though a lot of the Samoans in wrestling, are very unhealthy in terms of like how big they are.
They're born big.
Oh, damn. Except for the fucking Usos and shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's one of the things that's why I used to question like freaking Usos lineage. I'm saying like, yo, he's not big like Rikishi. I gotta see like who the hell did Rikishi knock up, because these guys they're not taking after him in the style department. So
we all know Rikishi they're kind of disapproved of what's his name dating being with Naomi and shit.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he was like against them getting wed. Like he was trying to fuck that whole thing up.
Damn, I had no idea.
It comes to question with all like like The Rock and shit like that. Like how he really don't really accept being black because of certain like
you don't really hear talking about Rocky Johnson like that.
Yeah, because all the things that Rocky Johnson did to his mother, cheating on her and stuff like that. Like I think he disassociates himself from being black as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, also the thing about Rikishi is he felt like what his son should have got with like a Samoan woman. He didn't want her to be with a black woman, something like that.
Yeah, man.
It was actually on Total Divas, nigga.
Oh wow. Hell, now I'm like, I should watch this shit. But now the thing is that doesn't really shock me too much, because I sit there, as I thought about like this, I see a lot of black wrestlers and they got like white partners and shit. But then I think about like the type of crowd that you're around within professional wrestling is not like this ain't Def Jam Vendetta Live, you know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna hope the black people consuming of this shit. Unfortunately, like it's not like a huge hip hop culture type thing. So you see like a lot of like black wrestlers, they got like white girlfriends and shit. Or you see like fucking like Ember Moon, like she's dating this guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's dating a fucking accountant.
Yo, but have you seen his merch? He has like fucking wrestling merch. He's like his character's like he's like the king of all black women. That's his character. Like he had to remove the merch because people like
what?
Yeah, yo, it was his white ass wearing some goddamn like African like loincloth type shit, and he has like this black girl on his shoulders, and it's like arcing over his head. It's like the king of all black women or some shit.
Damn, Ember Moon loses points for that shit.
Yeah, but then I look at him like, you know what? Like Ember Moon, you're like you play D&D. You're a fucking you're a goddamn Game of Thrones as character. I guess like yeah, these are the type of guys that you may go for and shit. And it's the same way we're like, yo, for me as a wrestling fan, it's hard for me to find like black chicks who really like are consumers of the product as well as like thorough within rap, like within rap like, knowledge and shit. Yeah, and even sometimes within like black males, like it's hard to find like some of those. Like I said, then I find like some like these black journalists and shit, and sometimes they come off like they don't get New Day references and shit. I'm like, yo, if you don't get New Day references, maybe you're just not around enough black people and shit.
Oh god,
because some of the references are like just very, very niche, and if you're with the shit, you get the shit. Word. And it's hilarious.
So, being that you pick like these certain elements, you want like a Zack Sabre Jr. moveset, but like the fucking psyche of a Tokyo Pimp.
But so, I think I will have the clapbacks of New Day.
Oh god. So you're gonna be a comedy character, motherfucker?
Nah, yo, man. The thing is, I'm gonna tell you, certain comedy characters, they know how to turn it on. Like, I remember like Taguchi. Taguchi's a comedy character, but when he challenged Hiromu Takahashi for the fucking junior heavyweight title, yo, it wasn't no like, let's have a conversation. It was like, nah, yo, Taguchi like just grabbed Hiromu Takahashi's ankle and put him in the deepest ankle lock I've ever seen. And I was like, oh wait, you're not making jokes right now. This is real. Okay.
Damn. So, if you want to explore this character, where do you think you would like to be? WWE, New Japan, ROH, Ring of Honor. I'm sorry, I said Ring of Honor. On top of that, Luchador Underground, Impact.
Yo, Lucha Underground is dope. I like Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
And
Cornette hates
and they go seasonal, which is good.
Yeah, Cornette hates that shit with a passion.
Oh man, fuck him.
Yeah, I don't get him, man. Like, he just really so set in the old ways of shit. Like,
definitely. Like, I got doing this shit, but I catch myself like just rolling my eyes a lot of times.
Yeah, like his hatred for Kenny Omega runs fucking
strong. Hey yo, you wrestle one blow up doll and a kid. It's shit.
But I'm like, like still the situation at hand, like, why you mad at him? Be mad at the motherfucking promotion and let that shit happen.
Nah, like people, I don't understand how, like, I think it's an American problem on some real shit. Like, a lot of us as like Americans, a lot of American wrestling fans, they feel like they try to police all of fucking wrestling around the world and shit, like as if like our way is the law. Like even like I don't know if you heard about the Tama Tonga shit at the G1 at the tournament. Like he ended up like hopping the crowd like and just choking some fan out. And apparently it wasn't a plant. Like this was some real shit because apparently that guy, he was causing a problem the whole night, like heckling people. And I understand New Japan and how they work. Like yo, like they have their young lions work security. This is like Tama Tonga supersedes what a young lion is. He's went through that program. So that means he's more, his status is more official than the security guards that are young lions. And I've seen videos on how New Japan operates, on how they deal with like unruly fans and the proper decorum that you should have in the New Japan arena. And if you did the shit that WWE fans do, like Beach Ball Mania, yo, you will get your ass beat. Like they do not tolerate like that type of disrespect. Damn. So, but for us, like out here, we're sitting there like, oh man, someone should do something about it. Like, yo, like why you sitting there like trying to tell like the Japanese people how to run their shit? Like, yo, if they want to have like fucking like goofy match, like yo, like they'll sit there and bitch and moan like, oh, why does New Japan, they don't have a women's division? I'm like, yo, they got women's promotions that people give a fuck about. When was the last time America really gave a fuck about a women's promotion?
Damn. And I think this like a whole women's revolution shit that WWE has going on, it's starting to lose its way a little bit.
It's kind of patronizing.
It is too. Not gonna lie, the matches were good at one point, and now they're slightly coming back to being short and not good at all.
Yeah, no, shoot. Like when I was watching the fucking the Sasha and Bailey shit on phone, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be like worse than like Mickey James Trish Stratus back in the day.
Damn. And they're talking about having that happen for Evolution.
Yeah, they're gonna sit there and like just wheel out all the OGs that may have not gotten enough screen time at their Hall of Fame induction and just parade them around and say, hey, yo, look at all these women that have been with our company that we valued, like really. Quote unquote.
I'm not gonna lie, the way they sent Lita off was fucked up in the worst.
Yo. And the thing is, and And all this is all hip hop and shit. It was like, damn, yo, what happened to that girl? Yo, remember like freaking the whole squad ran through and just aired her out, and all of a sudden you don't see her on Twitter no more and shit.
Damn, man, yo, this shit's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like the last of the wrestling questions. I know you're like, damn, I talk about wrestling all the time.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Nah, so like, who in wrestling do you feel is overrated, underrated, overutilized, underutilized?
I think Roman is overutilized because there are points where they have him working like 2 matches a night on Raw.
I saw that shit. I was
And,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, they've kind of been like doing this kind of overkill with him. I don't want to call him overrated. Like, I think they could have gave him a slow burn instead of rushing him to the title, and that's why we feel that way.
They kind of did give him a slow burn last year until this year.
Yeah.
But,
Because they gave the Universal. They kind of like, yeah, Goldberg, Brock, Kevin Owens and shit. Like they were like main title pictures. Samoa Joe.
But the fact that I think the internet's kind of killed wrestling because the storylines leak like a year in advance, and then when you start seeing like the shit unfolding, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers is right.
I'm saying, yo, but I think there are ways around that. Like, I think Bullet Club, they've kind of done a good job because they plant seeds. They plant seeds storylines. So you can kind of like just watch it, kind of like develop, and you'll see like little nuances, like where you'll see like, yo, like that dirty look wasn't just like a regular dirty look that like fucking Cody might have gave Kenny. Like, nah, yo, this is stemming from something. And underutilized shit. I think fucking Cody in WWE was underutilized, but now who's underutilized? I think who the hell's underutilized?
Shit.
I think they could do more with Sonata on the singles level in New Japan. Like, I think there's some type of point where he could go for another openweight title. I think he should get one.
Do you think Drew McIntyre needs to be in a fucking tag team at this point?
He doesn't, but it's good. I think it does wonders for Dolph, who was like, I remember last year he was like relinquishing the USA title, and he like went on like a fucking sabbatical or some shit just to come back in Arabia or the Royal Rumble and not win. So I think Drew McIntyre was like a good boost for him, as Dolph is once again a mid-card title holder. Right. But Drew, I think he could be great. I watched him as Drew Galloway, and I've seen him in Impact, and I've seen him in down in What Culture Pro Wrestling.
Like now it's like what Defiant? It's like what it was Defiant, and now I got to change the world of sport now.
Yeah. They've been going through some shit because I think their owner, I think it was like Adam Blampede, whatever. Adam, I don't know if you remember him from What the Culture. He was the guy that ran it, and he ran into his little scandal with his girlfriend, and he was like soliciting bitches to like send them nudes and shit like that. That was weird. Yeah. So without him at the helm, they had to like switch up and rebrand.
Wow, they rebranded twice.
That's how much that's how vital Adam was. They had no idea what to fucking do without him.
I thought they got rid of him.
Yeah, he stepped down.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I thought he stepped down from there.
Yeah, as soon as you step down, that's where they're kind of like just scrambling, and I don't know what the hell's going on with that promotion now.
Well, I heard like Wade Barrett, Stu Bennett now.
Yeah,
he's like the commissioner, but I heard he's coming back to wrestling soon.
Oh, okay. I actually would like that. I remember when I saw him introduced as the guy to take over, and I was like, oh man, he's not going to be in the ring no more. I liked him as Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett was underutilized.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Like, yo, the Bad News Barrett shit, people were really...
Bad News Barrett was the man.
Like, nigga, what the fuck, dude? Like, they really, like, dropped the ball on that?
Yeah. I've seen a lot. There have been a couple wrestlers. I'm like, yo, you had a moment where you could like really did something special, and you just let the shit slip through your fingers.
So, yo, who you think should hang it up all together? Like no more fucking like one more time, none of that shit. Like, who you think should just truly hang it up?
Get fucking Hulk Hogan out of here, bruh. I don't want to see Hulk Hogan come back. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. Hulk Hogan, he could go somewhere and just, I don't give a fuck. He could go somewhere and tan for all I give a shit.
Oh fuck. Damn. I fucking see the same. I have the same sentiment about that bullshit. Because nobody really accepting that motherfucker coming back, especially the black superstars. No one's fucking with that nigga.
I'm saying like it's at the point where like a lot of superstars are starting to like realize that they don't have to take some of the things that they're dealt with at WWE because they've seen the success of like people like leaving, whether it be fucking like Cody Rhodes or even like Drew McIntyre. He was able to find his way and come back better than ever. Like Bobby Lashley, he kind of like redefined himself when he went to Impact, and they make good money. Austin Aries is like one of the more recent examples and shit.
Yeah, like it seems like they seem to find their footing in the indies, but when they come back to like WWE, they just don't know what the fuck they're doing with them. Yeah,
and sometimes it'll be the same fucking politics and shit. When they get back, they're like, yo, y'all haven't changed at all. Like some of y'all still on the same like all right, the same bullshit that Hulk Hogan said in that locker room, like upon like his fake ass apology, probably would the same shit if he got taken to task to it like years ago when he was like super active.
Right.
Like, but these wrestlers nowadays, they're a lot more aware, and the consumers that support these wrestlers, they're a lot more aware of the bullshit that's going on. So these wrestlers, they're a lot more conflicted when it comes to accepting some of this bullshit.
Right. So, you've been working with Psyched Health for a while. Like, tell me how did you get acquainted with that?
Fucking Psyched. I was familiar with Psyched since I was maybe, I would say over half a decade. I've been familiar with Psyched. Yeah, I remember I was coming back from Los Angeles in 2012 or something like that. And I'd done a show with a group called Folk, which consisted of Kohai and a few other members. Kohai is one of the members of Psyched presently. He's a solo act now. And they had like a line around the block, and they were in high school. Like these were high school kids with like lines around the block to come see their shows and shit. And they fucked with me because I was an older cat that was kind of doing it, and because I was like coming back from LA, came back from Japan, and just like really trying to make it happen. So they kind of latched on to me, and they have a great attitude, and the way they go about things, like they don't really, we do everything in house. Like if I need beats, there's someone within Psyched that could give me beats. If we need video work done, there's someone in there that could do the video work or could show me how to do the shit. Like when it comes to recording, we do it all ourselves. So that was kind of a breath of fresh air, especially like me, because growing up, like the things that are available now, they weren't available then. Like to be a rapper, like yo, I had to go to fucking Union Square Park, like to spit my shit. Like I had to go to fucking, like I was a hype man for like this Brooklyn rapper for years, and these were like before I could even get into the studio and shit. Like for me to get into the studio, like the shit costs money, and for me to spend that money, I had to like know myself that like, yeah, this is worth it. But now like equipment's cheap and you can do all these things yourself, and I don't have to like jump through like these hurdles or like this red tape of like people's own preferences on whether I'm worthy or whether I'm ready for anything. So to have like these people around me is like, yeah, yo, like we don't have to wait for this. We don't have to like fuck like waiting for this call back. Like we'll put together a show ourselves. Like we don't need to wait for this scheduling to open up for us. Like we're gonna shoot this video and edit it ourselves.
Right.
And for me, that was like I was on board with that 100%. I was like, oh, word, like we're just taking this shit in our own hands. All right, cool, I'm with y'all.
Word. So like what I liked about Psyched was like the content and the build up to the lookbook and everything like that. Y'all was trying to find Cam.
Yeah.
That shit had me dying laughing. I thought that shit was funny as fuck.
Yo, thank you, man. A lot of these things, they came from real places and shit, because people have been asking us about like where's the gear at and where's some of the shirts at. So for us, it was like, all right, instead of just tweeting like, yeah, yo, the stuff is out, or like just sending out like an email, like, no, let's make it interesting. And it kind of came from like Kayfabe talks and stuff. Like a lot of us were like, we talked about like this was kind of coming off Psych Mania. Like we were discussing vignettes and things of that nature. Like we got a lot of like just back footage that we never put out, just us just cutting promos on each other and shit like that. So this was kind of all just like practice for me getting into like this kayfabe zone that I'm in right now.
Word. So do you see yourself doing more of these videos that showcase more of your character and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. We got the first episode of 220 Billy, which is about the Psyched House. It's kind of like this little 2-minute, 3-minute webisodes. I think we're actually filming another episode, I think, today. Yeah, right. I think. Yeah. So we got that. We're doing a couple other, I think we're going to do an Indie Dates video. And I got, Kayfabe 2 and Kayfabe 3 are done. So
wait, what? This is the first here, nigga?
Yeah, Kayfabe 2 is done. I think I got the cover shot. It's just being edited. Like we're gonna stay with the solid backgrounds, and like I think the next Kayfabe 2 I think is a yellow background, but it's a lot more darker. So that's why we wanted yellow on the front of it for Kayfabe 2, because that's gonna be the brightest part of the album. Everything else is gonna be a lot darker. But Kayfabe 3 is gonna bring it back around.
Oh shit! I'm shocked because I'm like, damn, one is so good. Like you can do so much with that shit. Now you got 2 more on the way.
Yeah, 2 and 3. I want to try and get those out before, I want to try and get Kayfabe 2 out before the end of the year.
Word.
Kayfabe 3, if I can, cool. But I don't want to rush it.
Word. You shouldn't, man. Like this is something the whole fans. It's not even the whole fans over. It just feels like it feels complete, to be honest. Like everything about the project is just like, it has. I know you talked about this night. You have some things that's just not for. It might not be it for everyone, but it feels like the product does have certain elements that everyone can go ahead and appreciate.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that. Like even just. There's a lot of people they listen to music just for the sonics. So like if you can't sit there and process the visual of Zack Sabre Jr. wearing 3 belts as compared to your favorite Chicago rapper that wore like 3 designer belts, like you can at least like appreciate the beat that we have behind it.
Yeah. So
and get groove with it a little bit.
So about beats, man, and about records, Dick Appointment.
Yeah.
That record, my nigga. Damn, when I heard it for the first time, I was like, this shit is wild. I think the first time I actually heard it was when you had posted the video with the bitch fisting herself.
Oh yeah, that was a teaser video. That was funny.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And then, you showed like the actual video. You actually posted the link to the actual video. I was like, all right, I'm not watching this shit again.
The teaser video got me banned from Facebook. I still have not been able to log in. Everyone on Facebook has not seen any of the videos except for that teaser.
Oh.
I got people like on Facebook that are cool with me, like since I was in elementary school, and they have no idea that I dropped 3 videos. They don't know I have a project on iTunes. They're like, so I see them on the street. They're like, oh shit! Like it's a good feeling though.
Yeah, man. Like, hey, you got banned on fucking on Facebook, man. That's like a fucking. That's not an accomplishment, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it's not like whoa. Like I've said some stupider things, but I guess like this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Whatever.
Well, nigga, you had somebody fisting herself.
My face was covering it. My face was covering it. So I was like, all right, you can't see it. It's like just because you know what she's doing. It's like whatever, man. Like,
but the sentiment was there. We all know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Now, within the full video, I don't know. Did you see the credits? Like when the record switches?
No, I did not.
Yo, watch the credit roll because it's like that's the second half of Dick Appointment, the Crown for a Queen part, and.
Yeah,
because people were talking about like, like there's certain wrestling references that aren't part of every song. But I'm like, if you don't catch that, you may see it in the video, because there's like a transparency or overlay of a girl, an Asian woman, and people were asking, who's that girl in the video that's like touching herself? That's Asuka.
Yeah,
and
I've seen some of her videos.
Yeah, so people like asked me about it. It's like, that's who should be women's champ right there.
But they fucking her character.
That was like my campaign.
They fucking her whole shit up.
Yeah, man. Fucking for Carmella? For Carmella?
Carmella's ass.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a feeling she's gonna get fired next.
Yo, don't even say that, man. We can't afford to be losing like people as soon as they drop titles. Like as soon as like we lost Neville, it was like, all right. And then the Enzo situation.
And then he got found not guilty for that shit. But then
man.
When they fired Big Cass though, that shit surprised me.
That surprised me until I heard he was kind of wilding out like while on tour.
Yeah,
like he was getting like just drunk, and I heard he was kind of strong on Carmella a little bit. I was like, man, like you can't be out here like just drunk, like just getting all like just over emotional with the women's champ, who's like kind of like a quasi face of the company. Like, it's not a good look.
And not only that, he was told by Vince McMahon not to do something, and he did it anyway. Oh yeah. When he did the ground and pound on the midget. You can't. You know, we're in a PC world. We can't call small people midgets.
A little person. I feel like there has to be like a more formal term than calling him a little person.
I know.
Because we would say like, don't call him midget. Like, all right, little person.
Because calling him a dwarf sounds more fucked up.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. But so when he beat up but he was just supposed to do there's just supposed to be the big boot to the little person,
right? And
then he ended up getting on the ground, started just punching on him and whatnot.
Yeah,
that was like that was one of the moments I was like, all right, yeah, like you can't be doing this, especially after I think they told him that he couldn't do it. Like, see, he had asked first, and that's one of the things. Like, it's easier to like just to not ask for permission and then just ask for the forgiveness. Like, yo, I didn't know, as opposed to like, yeah, I know you told me no, but I was really just going for the brass ring, and it just looks bad for you.
Oh, you're retarded. He's retarded for that shit.
Yeah.
And now he's changed his name to Big Cass with 2 Z's.
Z's. Yeah, and that's what people gonna be doing through his matches. They're gonna be catching Z's.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. He's not gonna get booked in no New Japan and nothing crazy.
No, he's not going anywhere special.
No, he's not. He's gonna be with Global Force Wrestling at this point, which is not even there. Which is not even there no more now.
Yeah, I think like the only thing that he can do is possibly like reunite with Enzo.
And do what? Nothing.
I realize that wrestling we kind of try to be like social justice warriors sometimes, but I realize wrestling community, there are a lot of people who just don't give a fuck. And I know some promotions that will like easily like go nuts for Enzo and Cass reunion.
Wow. Okay.
There are markets that will eat that up. Unfortunately.
I'm sorry. Real One and Big Cass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now you going by that bullshit. And you can't rap for worth shit. So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, you know, that the dick appointment, the rollout for that shit was eventful. I will tell you that. Like the one where you have like the infomercial, the dating infomercial. That shit was fun.
Yo, that was
when homegirl slaps the shit out you and tells you to read that shit.
Yeah, that's Kohai's girlfriend. Like she does a lot of help for a lot of the stuff that we do visually.
Yeah. Like that was a great I always thought there was really going to be a video for that shit, just based off of that.
Oh, I thought we were actually like put out the real dating videos.
I was like, that sounded like that would be like the official video for real.
Hell, man, I got revisit it.
The way the way it was like a movie in the beginning, like it could have been the video.
Yeah. Yo, we had like a real deeper script that we had written out. We was like, all right, cool, like. We had like maybe another like 3 minutes of like me not even pulling up to the green screen to prepare. It was like me just in the bathroom, kind of like psyching myself up to go out there. And it was like a whole there was like a lot of just backstory into it that we just felt like, you know what, we don't need to do this. We could just stay in this particular moment and just give them that.
Where was there any other way you ever visualized putting this record out? Like,
for the video.
Yeah.
The second half of the video will be at the credit rolls and Crown for a Queen, the second part of the song play. Initially, we were going to do a whole nother scene as if it was after I did the dating video, and because like I said, we had like stuff written where I kind of was like lamenting on like a former flame. And I was just trying. It was like, as I was talking about it in the green screen part, where I'm saying like I just got out of a relationship, yada yada yada. So the second part of that video was going to be like me coming home after I just did this video, and then I would get a knock at the door, and it was that girl that had like just left me a long time ago. And it was the whole concept of the Crown for a Queen record. It was about like a woman leaving me because she wanted someone more established, but that person didn't treat them well. So the woman was going to come to my door like with bruises on her face, and for me, there was a moment where I was going to be almost dismissive, like, "Yo, just get the fuck off my porch." But you kind of like see the like me kind of like, you know what? Are you hungry? Like, do you want 4 wings? You want fries and a soda? Because I have that at my house. Because these were about like the things that kind of triggered memories and shit for like the past. Like, you know what? Like these moments where you're in high school or you're in college or whatever, and you and your girl, you guys are just going to the pizza spot and you're going to like just $8 movies or whatever. Like after a certain age, that shit isn't as like impactful anymore. It's not as exciting. So for me, it was like, all right, I'm gonna be that guy that kind of stays in that zone while this woman goes and sees that it's not that greener on the other side and she's coming back. From there, it's like there's like me kind of like this dialogue while the music's playing, like it's like inaudible, and like I'm kind of like just fighting because she's talking about memories about like what we were, and I'm like, I don't want to even talk about this, but I try to fight the feeling. But then me and her have like this big embrace, and like we end up kissing, and then I look out my kitchen window, there's cars pulling up in my driveway, and these are going to be like, this is going to be in the moment where like, oh my God, it's them. Oh, don't let them take me, 89. I'm so sorry. They're so mean to me. And then I like, you go like this. We had this shot. We had a storyboard. It's like, yeah. Then you pan back to me, and I got the fucking Ultimate Warrior paint on, and I'm just sitting there with a steel chair, like just banging the shit on my kitchen floor, just waiting for someone like to run in my house. With that? Yo, it was. We couldn't get everyone together. Like we had everyone in their cars, like good to go. It's like, yeah, but we couldn't get the scheduling. It was so tough to get the scheduling together.
Yo, try to get the scheduling together. Make that shit was genius, man. Like it's different, man. Like that's what I like. That's what I want to see you put that together. Don't give up on that shit. Do not.
Yeah, like I said, like we can always revisit it. And like as for me, I was like, all right, as I think there's a sexual energy within all 3 of the projects. Like there's going to be like a Dick Appointment-esque type record on like 2 and on 3.
Damn. And so you like a young Akinelli, my nigga. Like what the hell, man?
Yo, dude, Akinelli's an OG, and I respect like what he did, paving the way for like vulgarity in rap. Because I appreciate the bluntness of it all, and that's something. Because I feel like there's people attach like the vulgarity to like, oh, you guys are immature and things of that nature. Like, oh, you can't use your words. But when I'm talking about like freaking on Crown for a Queen, it's a vulgar record and shit. I'm talking like that kiss on the lip, you fucking right, I did. I had no condom on my dick as I was piping it. Like, and people were like, I was people would react to it, but it's like, yo, like when I say that, like last time I felt like shit, it wasn't yours nor my intent. Like black men don't cheat, but they still disappoint. Like this was all like, yeah, I'm giving you all this vulgar shit because you're my woman and only you deserve that. This isn't like, oh yeah, let me be nasty for the sake of just being nasty. Like here it's like, nah, this is me directing my nastiness to just one particular person, and that person like hurt me.
Word.
And some people can't just get past the vulgarity to see that, oh, this is coming from a genuine place. Because there are a lot of people that would sit there, they come in relationships like, oh man, shoot, I did this nasty thing, or I did this nasty thing. Like, I can't believe they didn't appreciate me. And so like these are like real things and shit. So I was like, all right, you take this energy and like let me like redistribute this out there.
Wow, man. So I had like a conversation the other day with Alvin Skywalker, and I told him I was interviewing. Yeah, man, that's the homie. Like, shout out to him.
He has production on, I think, Kayfabe 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him. I'm managing him now. Oh man. Yeah, he's really dope, man. But one of the things I told him, I was going to be interviewing you for the show, and one of the things he told me, I might be paraphrasing this a lot, but regardless of just 5 people, 10 people, 15 people at a show, you're gonna give it your all. You're gonna give your best show ever.
Yeah, man.
I've heard that shit, and you know, he said that influenced him to want to go hard at any show that he does. So when it comes down to you, like, what influences you performance-wise?
It was one of those things where I don't think, like, for me coming into it, like the first show I really did on a solo tip. Like the first time I grabbed the mic and I was on stage rapping, it was for my theater final. Like I took like a performance arts class in high school and I like just rapped for my class. I wrote all the songs, I picked the beats out and shit. And I was like, these were my feelings. And this was my theater class that may not get hip hop, including my teacher. So for me, it was like, I was always deep into performing in general. Like whether, like I did Shakespeare and I did fucking Midsummer Night's Dream, and I didn't know a lot of those people in the crowd, but I knew that I had to entertain them regardless of my relationship with them. And even when I go on stage now, and even like we look at wrestlers, like they talk about it, like it doesn't matter if you're in an arena packed with people or it's like a bingo hall. Like someone in that bingo hall, like they could sit there and they could have a camera out, they could sit there and be singing your praises, or they could be sitting there talking about how empty the show was and how whack you were. So I could either be like the one high spot, or I could just be just another piece of just this a depressing scene if there isn't anyone there. You gotta be the one that kind of like just dictates the moments. Like you can't let like the setting or the people around you kind of like dictate how you play. Like you play good every time you go out there.
Right. So now you got Mad Liberation Festival coming up with your records like 696, Dive, Fuck Your Aesthetic. This festival's gonna have a good ass fucking show. I'm not gonna lie. You got some records that's gonna like hype the fucking crowd up, man.
Yeah.
So what you got planned? What you got planned for the show? 'Cause this is gonna be. Yeah, go ahead.
Not giving too much away. I think I got like 45 minutes on that stage.
Damn.
Yeah, they go. Like
you might have to perform the whole album.
Yeah, like I think I'm doing like damn near every track except for like the Breaking Kayfabe record, and I don't think I'm doing King Latifah.
You should though. I think King Latifah's fucking fire.
Yo, for me, see, I'll be thinking about that, but then it's like, yo, this is a festival, and these people that are in the festival, they can sit there and come to the next show, and I don't want to hit them with all like the bangers and shit quite yet. So when I go back to like regular show mode, it's like, all right.
I think you should do King Latifah acapella.
Ooh, yo, real shit. That was the moment. Like, I remember someone asked, like, "Yo, man, this double XL freshman cover shit. Yo, man, what if you were to be on that shit? What would your freestyle be like? What would you kick?" And I'm like, man, I'd probably kick King Latifah.
Yep.
Like just straight acapella. So it may be something. Like even like all the site, Kohai, Flick Liver, which is a dope band, fucking Thug Fiction, Jordy and Shreddy Bobby, that was like fucking your mystery guest, Brain Orchestra, like the whole fam is gonna be out there. And for me, like I'm the last one like that's performing, so I get to watch all my boys, all my squad just do the damn thing.
Word, that's
like,
amazing.
I gotta give that hell of a set, especially like since out of like the whole crew, like I'm the oldest one, and they've kind of been like watching me. So I was like, all right, if y'all guys gonna kill it, I gotta fucking massacre this shit.
You going to? This is the project. Like,
yeah,
Kayfabe to me feels like it's an entry in the 89 the Brainchild's music, and you know you have something that's for everyone, and I think this one is a festival centric album. Like this can set off a lot.
I really have. I hate tooting my own horn, but I feel the exact same way.
Yeah,
like that's why I wanted to like continue, like because I felt like when I got done with Kayfabe 1, I was still in the mood to write songs within that vein, but they're like still like minor tweaks to it. Where it's like, all right, this doesn't feel like the same album now. Like I'm obviously done with this, like this project, but I have like other concepts where I kind of want to continue this story and this exploration of my character. Like where you have the good guy, he turns into a bad guy, then and then he gets conflicted and he turns back into a good guy again. It's like, so for me, it was like, yeah, I want to go through like these hills and valleys of my own persona, my own life itself. Where like sometimes I am the fucking ambassador just for some people. Then sometimes I'm a hard ass to others.
Yeah, man. So now you got the Mad Lib Fest coming. Do you have any more shows that people should be looking out for?
Right now we got some shit in talks. I am in talk with Casanova Valentine. If you don't know Casanova Valentine, he is the pioneer of the no ring, no rope death match. Like it's like basically bar fights, but he's but he's booked. Like he's official. Like he's had shit with Shellac. He's had shit with Chucky T. Yeah, shit with fucking goddamn Zack Sabre Jr. was there. I think in May. He wrestles down in Brooklyn. Me and him we're in talks. I'm trying to get something going with him. I'm not gonna give too much away because it's a violent ass death match, but it's gonna be something like no one's ever seen before.
You're gonna actually perform. You're actually gonna actually.
I'm performing. I'm performing. Yep. Like me and him, Casanova Valentine. We have a mutual friend who did photography for me, and he's been like and since me and him linked up, we've been just going back and forth saying, yo, me and you gotta link up. Like your take on wrestling is dope, and he loves my music, and he loves like I think he got more caught into like the visual, like where I think like he saw some of the things that you saw with the Where's Cam and some of these, and even like the Dig Appointment intro. He's catching these moments of character rather than just let me just rap. So and I think sometimes it's like that for a wrestler. It's like, all right, let me give a little bit more than just, all right, I'm just gonna make an angry face and grapple you. And that's why I'm attracted to like his style of wrestling. Like he's very passionate. So me and him, we're working on something for September. It's either gonna be in the North Jersey or in like probably New York City.
Damn, man.
But right now, a lot of my efforts.
That's different. Like that's different. Like you got a lot of priorities, man.
Yeah, man. Shoot, I got I gotta go to a Wrestle Pro event in like actually top of September because my man Julio Wrestle Pro. He's like 4-0, 5-0 right now. He needs a new theme song, and he loves 696, but I may give him an original song.
Oh shit!
So he's about to be going on the road, taking 696 on tour with him as he does indie dates throughout the country and shit.
Word. That's, man, you found a lane, man. That's
kind of like I had a conversation about this earlier today, but someone asked me why I wasn't like on like blogs and like certain sites and shit or certain platforms, and I felt like certain rap platforms, they may not subscribe to my type of rap because I don't fit like their colorful motifs, or like like sometimes my vulgarity may be a little bit too much for them or whatever have you. But when you can sit there and tap into a market outside of just like, if you could make people a fan of your music just because, like, aside from the fact that they're a fan of your genre of music, that's way bigger. You know what I mean? Whereas like yo, like don't fuck with me just because like I'm another rapper. Because sometimes it's just like, oh, here's a rapper email. All right, this is a submission for whatever website. But for me, it's like, I don't want to just be like another nigga on your fucking site that may get overlooked. I want like people to really get behind the shit. So for me, it was like, what do I get behind as a person? And let me convey that so I can attract those people.
Right. So yo, this is the end of the interview. It's time. So tell people where they can find you.
Oh man, shoot, man, time flies. This was a great interview. I want to thank you for this. You can find me at.
I was scared of doing this interview because I've never met you in person yet, so it's kind of hard to get the read. But after just listening to a project and seeing how Psyched has been doing things, I kind of was like, all right, this is going to be great because one, you already piqued my interest with the wrestling thing. I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm into the indie stuff. So I was like, this is just going to be fun at this point. So I was like, all right, this was going to be a great interview regardless.
This is fantastic, man. If anyone wants to find me, you can hit me at, if you want to book me, 89thebrainchild@gmail. If anyone needs to like inquiries, interviews, or whatever have you, shows, I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg. I'm very reasonable. I put that on my mama. You get on Twitter at 89thebrainchild. Instagram, it is 89ain't on the gram. Because there's a whole thing where people will post pictures of me on Instagram and it's like, yo, I can't tag you. And it was like 89 ain't on the gram. So I was like, let's just make that my header and shit.
Yeah.
Follow psych.clothing. So it's not psych.com, psych.clothing. If you want to stay in touch with like some of the other things that are going on within like the gear and the merch. I'm trying to think, is anything else? Follow Psyched NJ and Psyched House. Yeah.
Word. So any last words about, your project, about you want like the people to, to get a hold of?
Kayfabe is available now on all your major streaming platforms. That includes Apple, that includes Spotify, that includes Tidal for all y'all bougie black people. I fuck with y'all though.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Everyone that talks about Tidal, they sit there, they come up with their goddamn nose up at people like, oh, you don't have Tidal? Oh man, they're resolute. I was like, yeah, I know.
No, never mind. I don't act like that.
I know people that use Tidal and they just kind of like, yeah, I use Tidal. It's cool. But there are people out there, they're goddamn spokesmen with their fucking Rock Nation hats on. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro.
You got the paper plane. If you get the paper plane hats, you shouldn't be having.
Oh man. Like everyone want to be Lenny S. I'm like, all right, cool. But you can check the album on all those platforms. And everything is wrestling, and wrestling is everything. Like, even the issues that people are wrestling with in their real lives, it's all wrestling.
Word, man. I want to thank 89 The Brainchild for being a guest on Gem Radio episode 29. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you from listening to Kayfabe. It's on my list always to listen to every day. I think it's one of my favorite albums this year. It might end up in my top 40 this year.
Hey.
It probably is going to end up in there because I listen to that album a lot.
Yo, thank you, man.
Like fucking Dive is my favorite record right now.
Yo, man, thank you so much. That was the last record that we put on the album too.
Thank God you put it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I just want y'all to understand, like this Kayfabe is fucking incredible. At the end of the day, I made this test for me to do 3 interviews with 3 dope artists. I'm glad to have 89 as being one of those three dope artists that's going to be a part of this whole series. And I'm telling you this right now, there's going to be a link in the description. I want y'all all to cop Kayfabe, listen to Kayfabe, stream that shit because it's really an amazing project.
You heard it here first.
Yes, you heard it here first. This is episode 29 of Gem Radio. We'll see you next time where we'll be interviewing Louis Ave off the release of his project Blame Louis Ave, and we'll see you next time.
Jacob, she'll kick that shit in soccer shorts. I got flavors and layers without purchasing designer clothes. Your drugs and I pay $5.